Hello, welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia. Okay. When I get back in, I have to start the auto backup. Printing. Newborn chicks identify the first thing they see as their parent. The term refers to this sort of rapidly formed durable conviction. Today, almost anyone you ask will have heard something about the phenomenon, but fewer know that imprinting isn't limited to the animal kingdom, but also occurs among humans, even average female students. This particular discovery is the product of my own recent experience. Yeah. When I leave my room, I find Sachi heading toward the second floor with a deck brush and bucket. Is this a set cleaning time for the dorm? Then why are you carrying a bucket and deck brush? If I remember correctly, you told me a contractor comes in to clean the that bathroom.
その通りなのですが、業者さんが私たちも毎日来られるわけではないので、日頃の手入れはお願いしますと言っていたので。
So you're cleaning out on your own initiative?
はい。時間があった時は、みちる様やあまねさんも手伝ってくれるので、そんなに大変じゃないんです。
I guess that's sort of class rep-esque, but more importantly, you intending to clean in that outfit?
はい、なるべくメイド服でというのが皆さんからの希望なので。
When you can, huh? Considering the vagueness of those words, I'm a little concerned about how she's interpreting them. So, when you go out, what do you usually wear? When you go out, what do you usually wear? How about when you're studying in your room? When you're in the bath? When you're sleeping? I get the picture. Basically, she's in a maid uniform pretty much every moment she's not in school. No wonder the principal said she wears them more often than not. But wearing a service uniform, even when you're sleeping, is a little... Wait, don't tell me you don't have any other clothes. So, what, you just really enjoy wearing that uniform?
どうでしょう。最初はただ着ているという感覚だったのですが、よく見るとところどころにあしらわれたこのフリルも可愛いですし、今では往年来から愛用していたもののようにしっくりきています。
So basically, she likes the clothes themselves. In that case, Sachi, let me give you my opinion on your style. Fundamentally, men are simple creatures. Rather than clothes with a narrow appeal like a maid uniform, we prefer a simple, straightforward, erotic look. That's a bit extreme. Also, it takes time and effort to change the appearance of your body itself. Right. For example, I'd imagine you're wearing modest underwear appropriate for a student, but what do you think would happen if you, the class rep, flashed everyone a peek at unexpectedly adult lingerie?
どうなりますか？
That momentary glimpse of your unpredictability would dramatically shift the way people perceive you.
なるほど、目から鱗です。
In conclusion, underwear isn't something you hide, it's something you show off. Keep that in mind.
なるほど、下着は隠すものではなく見せるものでもある。下着は隠すものではなく見せるものでもある。
But if you go past the casual level with this, it'll backfire on you. Do it in moderation. Well, that should be common sense, but...
覚えました。
Alright, I think I've gotten my point across.
はい、わかりました。
With those words, Sachi headed to the second floor. At that time, I'd forgotten something very important. At this school, there are students for whom common sense doesn't always apply.
Yuuji, ohayo.
Yeah. When I entered the classroom, I exchanged greetings with Michiru, who was, as usual, the first to arrive. Next up, Sakaki arrives, taciturn as usual. The energetic Cicada sisters follow.
おはようございます。
And finally, Sachi in her underwear. Her underwear? The four others freeze up at that unexpected spectacle. Coming to her senses, Amane grabs a maid uniform from Sachi's locker and throws it over to her.
はい、小峰幸、着替えます。前置きはいいから早く。はい。
Well, of course.
着替え終わりました。
Once Sachi's on the spot changing is complete, Amane sighs in her relief.
ちょっとサチ、さっきの格好、どうしよう、バラつけてくるの忘れちゃったってどころの騒ぎじゃないわよ。いえ、今日は下着を見せようと思って。なんで？昨日下着は隠すものではなく見せるものでもあると教えてもらったので。
Sachi's reply is a word-for-word repetition of my advice from yesterday. Although that's admirable in a way, it seems the warning I had at the end went in one ear and out the other. And these withering glances of scorn aren't exactly comfortable either. Sorry, but my proclivities are pretty normal. I'm not going to get off no matter how much you glare at me. Could have sworn.
この状況でどこをどう間違ったらそういう考えになるのか、こっちが聞きたいくらいよ。それに、そういうことを言って得する人間は今この学園に一人しかいないと思うんだけど。じゃあ犯人はお兄ちゃん？最低。
With wise words, the other two turn their glares on me as well.
ちょっと聞きたいんだけど、もしかして昨日さっちゃんに何か言った？
I did tell Sachi that underwear is more popular among the male population compared to a maid uniform. I didn't mean to demand that she come to school wearing nothing else.
あんたにそういうつもりがなくても、サチがそう思ったら同じことなの。
So this works on the same theory as schoolyard bullying.
サチはアマネなんかと違って純粋な子なんだから。それどういう意味？ああ、ごめん、ただの例えってだけだから。例えならいいって問題でもないと思うんだけど。
あの二人に任せておくと話が進まないから代わりに言っておくけど。
Please.
小峰さんは融通が利かないというか、言い方は悪いけど頭にバカがつくほど真面目なのよ。
So much so that she'd wear a maid uniform when you can, and then wear nothing else from the next day on.
そうそう。で、なんであんたがそのこと知ってるのよ。
She told me herself the day I transferred in. Sachi confirms my words silently.
まあ、今まで私たちに聞いてこなかったのが不思議なくらいだったしね。
上に同じく。
そういうわけで、とにかくサチは純真なの。ピュアホワイトなのよ。ちょっと前、十徳ナイフのことを説明した時にも言ったと思うけど。サチの前で軽はずみなことを言うと、こう誰かみたいに後で泣きを見る羽目になるんだから。
True, it's pretty lame the way she keeps calling you Michiru-sama.
人がわざとぼかして言ってるんだからはっきり言うな。
I thought she was indirectly asking for the follow-up, but it seems she actually thought she was being vague.
他にもメイド服のまま水泳の授業を受けようとしたり、
寮の屋上からロープを垂らして外壁の掃除をしようとしたこともあったわね。
She sounds unusually athletic for a class rep.
仕事を選ばないのがクラス委員ですから。
まあ普通のクラス委員は着衣水泳をやろうとしたりロープとかの真似事はしないと思うけどね。とにかくそういうわけだから、いい加減なことをサチに吹き込まないように。
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
小峰さんも女の子なんだからもう少し慎みを持った方がいいと思うわよ。
はい、その線引きが非常に難しいですけど、頑張ります。
よし、じゃあユージのこともギャフンと言わせたことだし、1時間目の準備でもするとしますかね。さっきのやりとりの中でそんな部分あったかな。
そこは言わないでおいてあげるのが優しさってもんなのよさ。
小峰さん、意外に大人びたした意を持っているのね。
Apparently finished with their warnings and advice, everyone except Sachi returns to their respective seats.
すみません風見さん、私のせいで皆さんから怒られてしまって。
No, nothing to apologize for. I don't think I worded my advice that well, and I'm impressed by your willingness to put your body on the line.
ありがとうございます。
So this time, I think I'll teach you about how to casually emphasize your underwear.
鱗がこぼれ落ちそうです。
だからあんたたちは人の話を聞きなさいってば。
They say that for a parent bird, raising one chick to adulthood is the work of a lifetime, but for a transfer student, making friends with a classmate of the opposite sex is pretty rough in its own way. On dark nights, it's not uncommon to mistake foliage swaying in the wind for the movements of a sinister human form. If you're aware, you'll understand rationally that it's just an illusion, but your senses feed off that instinctive twinge of terror, transforming the rustling of leaves into the whispering of a demon. To the shrubbery tree in question, this quirk of the human mind must be irritating. They mind their own business, spend their days earnestly assimilating carbon dioxide into ligneous tissue, and this is the thanks they get. But the plants don't get the worst of it. There's nothing quite as obnoxious as the way people push misconceptions onto their animals. All too often, pets are treated more like receptacles for the selfish delusions of human beings than companions. What if every pet in the world suddenly gained the ability to speak? I'm sure their owners are dying to hear their thoughts, but sometimes ignorance is bliss. It's difficult enough to come to a real understanding between fellow humans. How much harder would that be when one party is an animal? Believing in the fantasy that our pets love us back must be more pleasant than facing that reality. An erotic voice, out of place in the peaceful sunshine. In the past, Japan relied heavily on row housing apartments, with thin walls and nosy neighbors. Having sex in your own home could be surprisingly awkward. But as a result, inns aimed especially at couples sprung up, eventually developing into the famous love hotels, and modern housing circumstances usually allow for much greater privacy at home. In conclusion, having sex outdoors in this day and age is less likely an attempt at consideration toward your neighbors, and more likely an attempt at getting an additional thrill. Okay? We've got a pervert. Normally, I'm not in the habit of criticizing other people's fetishes, but screwing al fresco carries far higher risks than an amateur might expect. It's a highly unsanitary business. I don't have the slightest idea who might be fornicating here, but I should really tell them off for their own good. Hey, idiots! Did you at least put down a blanket? I've been expecting a half-naked couple tangled together, so I'm surprised to find Matsushima Michiru all by herself. What? I see, so you weren't a mere tsundere after all. You were, in fact, a sexually frustrated, perverted tsundere. I'm actually relieved in a way. You may be twisted, but at least you found a path to follow. Keep at it. What just happened? No, your head seems to be on relatively straight today. Listen, I'm telling you that I have respect for your deviant spirit. You're a first-class pervert.
いきなり現れて人を変態扱いするなんて失礼じゃないの。
What else would you call someone who gets off outdoors without a thought for their surroundings?
自分で何のこと？
Hmm?
とにかく変態じゃないんだからね。ブワーカ。
It appears I may have misinterpreted the situation. Of course, there's a good possibility she's deceiving me out of sheer embarrassment, but I'm a kind enough human being to sympathetically pretend otherwise. I see. Sorry. Well, either way, I'll pretend not to have seen this.
なんで見なかったことにするのよ。
Alright, let's say it was a rehearsal for a play. A play in which you're attacked by a hoodlum. Your mouth keeps saying no, but your body says yes. Sound about right?
そんなことするわけないでしょ。
Okay, so your body keeps saying yes, but your mouth says no?
同じことじゃないの。襲われたら拒否するだけよ。受け入れるわけないでしょ。
What? Isn't a tsundere supposed to give in right away?
そんなわけないでしょ。どうすればそんなアクロバティックな解釈が出てくるのよ。
Well, I heard that a tsundere is a woman who says no when she means yes.
あんたっておっさんみたいなこと言うのね。女の子が嫌がってる時は大抵本当に嫌な時なのよ。それを男の都合で解釈されたらたまんないわね。
I see. The tsundere is more complex than I thought.
そうよ、難しいのよ。って言っても私はナチュラルボーンツンデレですから、そういうのをさらっとこなしちゃうけどね。
Piece of cake, huh?
さらっとよ。
Boom.
ボーン。
Boom. By the way, what's that black bushy thing you've got hidden there?
それしたのに？
Got rid of it. Look to your left. This time Michiru seems to have misunderstood something, so I point to her side. There's some sort of black lump of hair partially visible.
ああ、そうよ、そうなのよ。困ったのよ、この子ってばこんなところまでついてきちゃって。うふ、私のことが好きみたいなの。参っちゃうわね。
The lump of fur stretches grandly, revealing its identity. It was in fact a small black cat. The black cat coils around Michiru's legs, purring wildly. Unlike your average returned house cat, it's a bit scrawny and its hair is dirty and shaggy. Okay, it was a cat that was licking her. Okay, did he really follow you? It looks more like you carried him here.
なんでそういうこと言うの？
Cats don't follow people around unless they're very used to human company. I can't imagine an animal that's careless enough to casually follow some random blonde around would survive long in the wild.
勝手についてきたのよ。本当だもん。
You bribe it with food?
してないもん。
In that case, maybe it followed you instinctively. Immaturity might be a factor.
ちょっと待ちなさいよ。誰が乳臭いって？
Sakaki.
サカキか。それでこの子を元の場所に返さないとって思ってるの。寮で飼うわけにもいかないでしょ。協力してくれる？
No. Why do I have to play house with you? Do it yourself.
あんたさ、女の子には優しくしなさいって言われなかった？
Anybody? Like who?
誰にって、誰かによ。誰にだっていいけどさ。分かった。私が言う。今あんたに言ってあげる。女の子には。
No.
それはないでしょうね。
You can handle a single cat on your own. There's nothing for me to help with. If you were in serious trouble, I'd lend a hand, but you shouldn't rely on others for every little thing. Baboon. Alright then. You put that thing back where you found it. Bye.
待ちなさいよ。せめてこうなんかないの？もうちょっとこう優しげなあれはないの？
You're really hopeless. Very well, in recognition of your empty head, loose morals, and general incompetence, I'll give you a hand.
ありがとう。
Are you aware that cats hate certain scents, citrus in particular? If you have something like that, it'll drive them off in no time.
うん、それは知ってるけど、どうすればいいのかな。あ、私のシャンプー、クレープフルーツの香りなんだけど。
That's it. In other words, your twin tails are soaked with cat repellent. If you dangle them in front of that vile black feline, there's no doubt he'll flee. Alright, this mission is designated the Battle of the Bulge, Cat Edition. Engage the enemy at once.
どうやって？猫憎くないけど。
As of this moment, I'm designating that plastic ornament on the right side of your head, Alpha, and the plastic ornament on the left, Bravo. First, get Alpha in front of the cat. Huh? Shut up and move, Alpha. Forward, attack.
かかります。そう。
Huh? Yes, right face. Now, quickly rotate, support unit Bravo, to the front. Alpha, take rear guard. Good, the target's losing his will to fight. Finish him off with Charlie.
待って、何？急に出てきたチャーリーって誰？
That tuft sticking up out of your head, obviously. Begin vibrating it at once.
これがチャーリー？えい！ブルブルブルブル！
With feeling.
ブリブリブリブリブリブリブリブリブリブリブリ！にゃー。乗ってない？
He is indeed. What?
この状況を見て何か言うことは？
Analysis complete. Abnormal perspiration, animal on head, eyes like a dead fish. The above 3 points conclude my observations.
違う。事態が悪化したことへの謝罪とかないのってことでしょ。どうしてこうなった？
Because your head looked comfortable?
そういうことじゃなくて、これ追い返すどころか馴染んでるじゃないの。
True, the operation has failed. Retreat.
解散しちゃダメ。責任取りなさい。
You're hard to please. Guess I'll have to bring out my trump card. Hold your current position. I'll go get a bucket and water.
ちょっと待って。今なんて？
I'm getting a bucket and water.
なんでそんなことするの？あんたよくそんなひどいことでき
Cruel thing. Did you think I was going to dump water on the cat?
じゃあ何するの？
Sit on the bucket, drink the water, and take a break.
なんで急に休憩時間に入っちゃうのよ。そんでお水まで飲んじゃうの？バカなの？
Did you just make light of water breaks? You maggot. Are you underestimating the horrors of dehydration? By the time your body is asking you for water, it's already too late. Regular and moderate fluid intake is absolutely crucial.
いや、分かってますから。その部分をバカって言ったわけじゃないよ。だから、熱く語らないで。
Oh, sorry. Couldn't help myself. Well then, I'll be getting that bucket, so stand by.
待機しない。この状態を早くどうにかしなさいよね。これじゃあ猫かぶってるってみんなに言われちゃうでしょ。にゃー。
That shoe fits.
さい。
No, seriously, it seems to have taken you quite a bit. If you want to drive it off, maybe sprinkling water on it really is the best option. You do want to drive off the cat as soon as possible, right?
そうだけど、でもそんなひどいこと絶対しないで。
It's just a stray cat, so I think I can't. I'll get the water.
ダメだってば。猫ニャーがかわいそう。あ、
Kitty meow?
言ってません。そんなこと言ってません。そんなことより早くこの子をどうにかしないと。
Right, splashing water from a bucket it is then.
それは絶対にダメなの。猫にゃどう？この猫がかわいそう。何よ。
Is that his name?
何が？
Is that the name you gave the cat?
だから何がよ。
I'm asking whether you gave this animal that ridiculous name. Answer me.
違います。そんなこと言ってませんし、名前なんてつけてません。もう何よ。で、さっきからちょいちょいなんで変な言葉を言わせてるのよ。
Oh, you caught on. I noticed this habit. You have it repeating short phrases, so I was experimenting to see how far you go with it.
勝手にそんな実験しないでよね。こっちは頭の上に動物乗ってて忙しいんだから。
Sure.
よし、やんないもん。
Intriguing. By the way, that kitty meow of yours has been licking your Charlie vigorously for a while now.
にゃっぷにゃっぷにゃっぷにゃっぷにゃっぷにゃっぷ。
いやー、舐めないで。私のチャーリーを。
Shall I drive it off?
お願いします。でも水はかけないでね。それはダメだからね。
Understood. Alright, here we go. As I take my first step forward, the cat leaps off Machir's head and runs off somewhere. It's a bit anticlimactic, but I fulfill Machir's request. And yet Machir is glaring at me in apparent displeasure. You'd almost think she didn't really want me to scare the cat off. Good for you, he ran off.
ありがとう。
You don't look particularly happy.
そんなことないもん。 ああ、せいせいしたわね。猫にまとわりつかれるなんて本当にうんざりしちゃう。私どっちかっていうと犬が好きだしね。
As Materia speaks, he's gazing fixedly in the direction where the cat disappeared, her expression wistful. That's a shame.
そうね。残念じゃないわよ。ああ、猫うざい。超うざいんですけど。
That aside, I consider thinking a little harder next time.
何をよ。
The name Kitty Meow is a bit...
ああ、猫いなくなってスッキリスッキリ。さあもう今日は何して遊ぼうかしら。ルールラー。
Even as Materia spits out those strained words, she's walking off in the direction the cat disappeared. She's clearly gotten attached to it. Why hesitate to admit she's fond of the thing? Why not just be honest about it? Maybe there's something else going on here. Then again, expecting a deeper reason from a girl who named the cat Kitty Meow might be a little too optimistic. And as mysteries go, that Charlotte as she left also qualifies. Although it seemed like nothing more than a bizarre streak, perhaps it's a special cipher that will reveal a coherent message when parsed with a certain algorithm. Don't think so. I mumble to myself in self-derision. Habits are persistent things. Even when your circumstances change, they tend to stay with you. Take meal times, for example. I eat at 7 in the morning, 12 in the afternoon, and 7 in the evening. If you know the time, you know how full my stomach is. My sleep patterns are even easier to understand. Unless I'm working or have something to do, my eyelids naturally grow heavy after 10 p.m., and I'm asleep by 11 p.m. at the latest. Even if I don't set an alarm, my eyes open on their own every morning. And usually find the clock reading 4:45 a.m. After spending 15 minutes half asleep in bed, I slowly rouse myself and apply the eye drops I keep cool in the refrigerator. Next, I drink a bottle of oolong tea, replenishing the fluids I lost through sweating in my sleep. A quick check of the weather outside my window, and I change into my sweats and head out for my daily run. There are more rules than habits for me at this point. Today, as usual, I alternated jogging with wind sprints, responding to the echo of the drill instructor's whistle inside my head. But at this very moment, outside my empty dorm room, a far from routine incident was beginning to take shape. I was heading back to my room after my run, planning on a quick shower and some breakfast, when I noticed something unusual. Suoamane was skillfully moving her slippered feet down the stairs, careful not to make the slightest sound. The instant I saw her movements, precisely those of an agent of an infiltration mission, I instinctively hid myself in the shadows. I'm now watching her every move. Suoamane, that woman, could it be? There's a cold, sticky sweat on my forehead, and it's not the product of my daily exercise. Am I her target? Amane's holding a key in her right hand. Glancing cautiously around her surroundings, she moves to my door. She takes great care to unlock it with a gradual, silent movement. Just as I thought, it's my room. I consult my watch. It's still early morning. There's only one reason to sneak quietly into a man's room at this hour. Assassination. I don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe that Suleimani is an agent working for some unknown organization. But now that I think back, there were a lot of things that didn't make sense. She was aggressively friendly to me from our very first meeting, never showing a hint of embarrassment at pushing herself onto me, and yet she's never showed any particular interest in my past. Just how convenient is that for me? Her lack of interest in my past makes sense if she'd already received an overview of my background. At a glance, she's just your typical horny big sister role player, but that could be a front hiding a killing machine, a woman who takes lives as naturally as she draws breath. I hadn't read her that way, but that's probably because I let down my guard, unbelievably sloppy. If my master was alive, she'd knock me on my butt for this one. A convenient woman like that is obviously too good to be true. But even as I reproach myself, my chest is burning with bitter sadness. Oblivious to my silent regret, Amani eases my door open and begins to inch her way inside. Amani speaks in a whisper, probably a safeguard against the possibility that I woke in earlier than she expected. When there's no response, she continues to move into the room. I quietly follow, concealing myself in the shadows to avoid alerting you to my presence. Of course, she finds my bed empty. Amani looks around the room quickly, and after a moment opens the door to my bathroom and pokes her head in to continue her search. What exactly was she planning to say if I had been taking a shower? Say what? Wait a second. Swallow Amane. Did you seriously sneak in here for that idiotic... No, hold on. Could she have noticed my presence? Is this all just a masterful farce? Swallow Amane, you're one heck of a woman. Very well, let's see just how long you can keep up this little act. Mind your own business. I'm working on it on my own pace. They're going in the laundry later anyway, and I was going to finish that after my run, okay? She's finally ready to lay her trap. Or not. Amani picks up the bottle and starts to gather my scattered clothes from the floor. For some reason, Amani unfolds the clothes in front of her face, buries her nose into them, and begins inhaling their scent. So, Mane, are you a dog?
やばい、なんかこの匂い結構好きかも。
Or rather, are you a pervert, Sulamane? Hey, what now? Why are you staring at my bed? Wait, you don't tell me. Yeah, yourself. Did you seriously just jump onto my bed?
やっぱり男臭い。
And now she's pressing her face into my sheets and snuffling loudly.
もう臭いな。男臭いったらありゃしない。
Don't stick your face in my bed. Don't shake your butt around. Don't stick your face in my bed and shake your butt around. This girl is really is a dog in human form. Uh,
やばい、なんか頭クラクラしてきたかも。
if you press your nose against the covers and inhale over and over, of course you're going to get lightheaded from lack of oxygen. More importantly, is this what I think it is, if I'm reading this correctly?
ユージ君、ダメ、そんなこと。
This woman is, in fact, a horny big sister role player.
いけないわ、ユージ君。ダメよ、我慢して。
Allow me to correct myself. This woman is, in fact, a sex crazed maniac, big sister role player. Drunk on the man stink that's apparently lingering in my bed sheets, Amani wriggles her body, breathing roughly through her nose. But watching her shameful display, I feel more relieved than anything else. At the very least, there's no assassin this stupid. Now that I think this over calmly, there's no way anyone would arrange such an elaborate assassination for me. A traffic accident would be more economical, and the cleanup after the fact much less troublesome. All that suddenly ridiculous tension I'd been filled with leaks out of my mouth. At this point, I finally noticed that I'm very thirsty. Moving relatively quietly, I open the door to my fridge and retrieve a large bottle of sports drink. I twist the cap off and drink directly from the bottle, gulping down a mouthful of cold liquid. As the teal soaks into my parched throat and the electrolytes course through my strained body, I realize just how worked up I'd been over nothing. Within her fantasy, I've apparently begun to reach my hand toward Amani's underwear. She's very concerned about this for some unclear reason. At this rate, I'm going to get a real show free of charge. What to do? Maybe the gentlemanly thing would be to go back outside, then noisily pretend to return. With that thought, I start to return my drink to the fridge, but just as I separate my mouth from the 2-liter bottle, the liquid inside sloshes around vigorously, making a surprisingly loud sound. Unfortunately, that sound shatters Amani's delusion just as she began a slow, inviting wiggling of her hips. She springs up out of the bed, her eyes wide open. There's no time to hide. I'm standing there with the sports drink in my hand, staring at Amani, and she's staring right back. for a while now.
だからそれっていつからなのかな。どのあたりから見てた？
If I honestly tell Amane that I saw the whole thing, she might be hurt. Maybe I should be considerate and tell her I didn't see anything, but at this point, that would be way too barefaced to lie. So the middle ground would be to say I only saw the last part. Well, let's see. I think it was you couldn't, or maybe stop, restrain yourself. What's wrong? You're sweating like crazy. You want some of this sports drink? I already took us swigs, just so you know. Why should I have sung a song to help you get in the mood? Her legs buckling underneath her, Amane drops to the floor with a thud, covers her face with both hands, and breaks down in hysterical tears. Look, I'm the one who should be screaming here. Coming back to your room to find a woman wriggling around in your sheets. I don't remember learning an appropriate response to this particular scenario. Look on the bright side. At least you noticed me before you started rubbing my pillow between your legs, right? Hey, Amane! Amane pushes past me and runs away screaming, still hiding her face in her hands, although from the state of her ears I can infer that it's bright red. What am I supposed to do with this woman? It's hardly that big a deal. But apparently I'm the only one that thinks so. A good hour later, it's time to go to school, but Amane has locked herself in her bathroom and shows no signs of emerging. Yeah. She totally likes him. It's cute. Well, the exact details aren't any of my business, but it seems that Makina's persistent siege eventually convinced Amane to leave the bathroom. Don't be too harsh. Amane has her reasons. Don't worry about it. This is almost my fault in a way. I'll tell you when you're a little older, Makina. You can practically see the question mark floating over Makina's head as she tries to get a grasp on the situation. Meanwhile, Amane seems to be trying to get through this by force of will. The three of us leave the dorm and begin to run toward our classroom. She's really cute. Are you happy about this, Yuuji? I would be happy about this. What's wrong, Makina? You're falling behind. Run.
だから何度も謝ったでしょ。
Alright then, Makina, I'll teach you a wonderful song that makes running more enjoyable. It's called a running cadence. At my old school, we sung these all the time when we had to run. Repeat after me, got it? Solomon is in heat. Rolling around in a man's bed sheets. Good for you. Good for me. Good. Well then, shall we take a leisurely walk and sing some nice nursery rhymes instead? Although I'd been considerably trying to turn the whole incident into a joke so that we could laugh it off together, things didn't wrap up that neatly. Makina enjoyed the cadence call more than I'd expected. And when she got Sachi to join in a loud chorus during PE class that day, our classmates naturally started asking about the lyrics. Amane's response was to hang her head deeply and vaguely mumble, I don't even care anymore. The smile on her face at that moment was truly hollow. I wonder how long it will be before they start dating. The moment I leave my room, I'm met with a shrill voice from the lobby. From what I can gather, Michiru is trying to drag Sakaki into some sort of group event. So, do those two dislike each other after all? I ask Amane, who's watching the fight from the sidelines, to clear up a point of confusion. I see. Michiru tries to bring things together as everyone's leader, while Sakaki avoids excessive contact with those around her. It's only natural that these two would come into conflict pretty frequently.
別にそんなの全然怖くないんだから。
Judging from the way she isn't backing down even with that box cutter in her face, Michiru's gotten a little heated herself. Shouldn't we stop this?
そうね。二人が言い合うのはいつものことだけど、そろそろマキナも怖がり始めたし。
I looked down to find Makina hiding behind him on his back, watching the scene fearfully. If you want, I can try to calm them down.
それなら大丈夫。私たちには大魔神がついてるから。
A demon lord.
じゃあ、さっちゃん、お願いね。わかりました。
And so the fearsome demon lord, or rather Sachi, slowly advances toward her prey. You crazy? Sachi's obviously not cut out for this role.
やっぱそう思う？
No offense to Sachi, but when it comes to stopping an argument, I think you'd be more effective, Amane.
普通はそう考えるわよね。でも実際は違ったの。
Here's a precedent.
そう、あれはユージ君以外のみんなが揃ってすぐの頃だったと思うけど、その時も今と同じようなことが起こって、最初は私が止めに入ったんだけど、結局2人は言い合いをやめてくれなかった。それで、わらをもつかむ勢いでさっちゃんにお願いしてみたんだけど、そしたら
She pulled it off.
しかも私やマキナが驚くくらいバシッとね。
あの時のサッチかっこよかったのよさ。
This is a little hard to swallow, honestly.
それはこれから起こることを見てれば嫌でも納得できるわよ。
Seeing is believing, is it?
みちる様、榊さん。何よ、サチ。今私ちょっと忙しいんだけど。
私も話なら後で聞くわ。
あまねさんにお願いされているので、それだと少し困るというか。それより早くその物騒なものをしまいなさいよ。
ならそっちが先に考えを改めてくれる？
私は2人にお話があります。みんなが困っているので喧嘩をやめてくれませんか？やだなあ、サチ。私たちは別に喧嘩してたわけじゃないわよ。ねえ、
そうね、松島さん。
What the heck is that? She just asked them and she did a crappy job of it.
でも効果てきめんでしょ？
True, the wind has completely gone out of Michiru and Sakaki's sails.
きっとサッチ二人の前でブチうわーって顔してるんだよ。
どうして広島弁出た？今。
I see. So this is the nature of her demonic powers. Hey, Michiru. Seeking further details, I capture Michiru as she totters away from the scene.
何よあんた。こんな突然。
Why did you stop arguing just now?
あんたはまだ本気のサチを見たことがないからそんなことが言えるのよ。
Sachi has a serious mode?
そう。よく目で人を 焦がすとか言うでしょ。
I've heard if looks could kill at least.
そうとも言うやつ。サチのあれはまさしくそれよ。
In other words, when Sachi needs to, she can fire a glare powerful enough to kill.
その通り。しかもあの目は間違いなく10万馬力は出てるわね。
Machiro continues to mumble to herself as she sits down on a nearby sofa.
やっぱり私小峰さんが一番苦手だわ。
Sakaki, for her part, is unusually pale in the face.
これが一見気の弱そうなさっちゃんがクラス委員を任されている理由。
Almost done, right?
ここには個性の強い学生が集まってるから、いざってんでそれができるのは私じゃなくさっちゃんだったってわけ。
Wait, so what?
ここには個性の強い学生が集まってるから、いざって時みんなに言うことを聞かせられる人間がいないとまずいじゃない？
Oh, yeah. Okay. So it seems.
さっちゃんはよく分かりましたって言って何でも頼み事を引き受けてくれるけど、さっちゃんの分かりましたは私たちにとって問題の解決とイコールなの。
You really place a lot of trust in Sachi's abilities.
そうなのよ。実は怒らせると一番怖いのはサッチンかもしれないんだから。ガオーって。
It seems like I may have been underestimating Sachi. Hey, Sachi.
はい。
There's more to you than meets the eye. That was pretty impressive.
ありがとうございます。
さて、榊さんも参加してくれる気になったみたいだし、早速ボードゲーム大会を始めましょうか。
Oh. Have fun. Don't worry about the noise. I'm the type who can sleep next to train tracks.
何言ってるの？ユージ君もやるなの？
What?
みんなで遊ぶって言ってるんだから、当然あんたも入ってるに決まってるでしょうが。
私も強制参加させられているのだから分かっているわよね。
なのよね、サッチ。
はい。
They've been going at it like cats and dogs just moments ago, but all of a sudden it's an utterly united front. Might be a little late in the game to realize it, but I seem to have ended up in a pretty troublesome school. Sweet.
A 液と B 液を混ぜる作業。何度やっても手が震えてくる。
I don't know what board game they were going to play, but it sounded like it would be fun. I kind of wanted to play it. I don't know what they were going to play. But cool though. Okay. Bye.